Jordan, my man, how you doing this morning?
Awesome.
Oh, good. Thanks for your
Awesome.
patience. We'll just get right to it. Hello. I'm really glad you're here. Jordan, first off, where are you located physically? What are you in the LA
Today
area?
I'm in Downey, California.
County. Okay, sweet. Okay. Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself and then how you got into safety. Um, and go ahead. We're rolling. We're recording.
Awesome. Good morning. My name is Jordan. I'm a safety coach, safety trainer. Got into safety about 2007. Before that, I worked offshore. I worked chasing oil spills, um, oil, gas, chemical spills all over the United States and internationally. Got into safety about 2007. Started off to being as a HAZWOPER trainer, confined space entry trainer, and slowly but surely started, learning how to train, learning how to work with different people. In 2010, I became a bilingual English and Spanish safety trainer, and I've been doing that ever since.
That's fantastic. And that's such a great skill that you have to be able to speak to both populations. And it's certainly a problem with safety training where people who speak Spanish don't often get the training they need to and are kind of left out, without the right information and stuff. And they're more likely to have accidents and injuries. And OSHA is very happy that you're able to do that. That's really great. So how did you get into safety? You said you were chasing oil spills and you came in from working on the refineries. What prompted you to make that change in your career?
Well, what's really interesting is that I was working on the field, working oil and gas, doing upstream, downstream, and midstream. And when I got into confined space rescue and confined space safety, that's when I really got on my safety hat and started realizing how dangerous it is out there for a lot of the crews that go in there and do the heavy lifting in confined space, especially per required confined space. That's what opened my eyes. That's what really triggered my interest in occupational safety and health.
Wow, that's something. And you don't have to share this if you don't want to, but I'm imagining perhaps an incident occurred, an accident or injury or something like that, somebody that you worked with that may have prompted that response. I just know I've had that experience myself with in training where something happens and then you're like, uh-oh, I want to make sure that never happens again. Was there anything like that? And if there was, you can share it or not share it if you want.
Yeah. A couple of times the safety issues happened, and of course, as workers, as you know, on the front line, we're not privy to that confidential information. But what would happen? They'll have safety stand downs, and they would have safety stand downs sometimes 3 or 4 days in a row, and come in and bring all these trainers from different places, and they'll start bringing trainers that would speak Armenian, and some of the times working up in Northern California, they'll have traders speaking different languages, safety traders that would speak Chinese, uh, Armenian, Portuguese, Spanish, any language that was available. They would bring in the crews, and even if it was 2 or 3 employees, they would teach that employee in their native language. And they would have these safety stand downs 3 or 4 days in a row. And that's when I started really thinking, wait a second, something is happening that we're not being told as workers. And that's when I started really thinking about it and said, wait a second, there's something here that I need to really pay attention to.
Wow. So you just figured it out because of what was happening with the emphasis on training with the stand downs and said, wait a minute, there's something going on here. I need to be paying attention to this. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. All right. So now you've been in safety like a while, about 13, 14 years now. So we've talked before about your involvement in your community and how much you do with, I think, like young people and maybe underserved populations and things. You want to talk about that, some of the work you do with your community?
Of course. And what I do is actually reach out to the urban youth and also the foster youth And I reach out to them and tell them, hey, you know what? When you turn 18, you can look into hazmat, look into HAZWOPER, which is hazardous waste operations emergency response. I'm the trainer. I schedule trainings with the organizations that house the foster youths, and before they turn 18, they're already certified for HAZWOPER, certified to work in different hazardous waste operations. I train them for OSHA 10, OSHA 30, and get the foster youths ready. So when they turn 18, they hit that gate, they can go straight and apply for a job instead of, just being released out into the wild. And it's really important that we understand that, there are segments of our society that they don't have the same opportunities as many of us had. And that includes, runaways, foster youths, and also urban youths. They don't have that gateway to say, let's go work at the refinery. And I try to be that bridge and try to reach out to the community through the OSHA outreach program and say, hey, you know what? I'm here to help. You don't need to pay me. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I want to pay back to my community through occupational safety and health training.
That's amazing, Jordan. That's one of the things that really impressed me about you that I wanted to share with our outreach trainers and our community is the kind of a lifeline you're throwing people that normally when they age out, they're where do they go, right? And all of a sudden they're on their own, and that's really really awesome that you're giving them some resources to help them, like you said, bridge into the being able to work and things like that. That's great. Um, I know you and I have worked together. Maybe you've worked with Suzanne in our office. I'm not sure if you have yet or not, but I just thought if you wanted to touch on your experience working with us, with our OSHA training center up here we represent California, of course, and Nevada and Arizona and the whole region, and Hawaii and Guam. Yeah, what if you could speak to your experience working with us at all?
Yes, definitely. I've worked with the UC program down in San Diego. I've worked with Cal State Dominguez Hills program. They're great. San Diego is great, but the program that goes above and beyond as a OSHA training institute is actually the CLPCCD, which is Chabot-Las Positas Community College District. The OSHA program that is done out of Positas goes above and beyond. The manner of which you call out and ask them a question and they'll call right back. The manner of you send an email out to Chabot-Las Positas OSHA program, you send an email out and sometimes you get 2-3 responses back within the hour. And that's the type of that's what I actually opened my eyes when I spoke to Addie, when I spoke to different people at the front office in the OSHA program up in Chabot-Las Positas. Yeah, they were amazing. They were just amazing, and they really went above and beyond for not just the students, but for the trainers also.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. That's really great. We try really hard, especially with the pandemic. Most of us are working from home. Like right now, this is my kitchen slash office. I know you're at home probably right now too. And we're actually making everything run, even though we're not even in our normal office space, hardly ever. But it's actually trainers like you too that are the backbone of what we do. And you're out there in the day to day dealing with not just the people that you mentioned earlier, but other customers and students and stuff as well. And working on making sure that people are safe and that there won't be a 4-day safety stand down because of some confined space issue or something like that. So that's super valuable. Was there anything else you wanted to share before we end off? Because that's really all I wanted to go over, but I'm happy if you had something else you wanted to say or share.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank all my trainers, all the co-workers and all the other trainers I've worked with through the years. Um, I've had amazing trainers through my career. I've had trainers in oil and gas, in constructions, and maritime. These trainers have poured their heart and soul into sharing all the intricate details, what it has to do not just with safety but with operations. And without them, I would be lost. And what I try to do out as a trainer is with the right approach, with the right care in the practice of common decency and respect. I train my coworkers and students, not just to work safely, but to perform safe work at all times.
Absolutely.
It's people first. I mean,
Right.
we all have lives at home, and sometimes we have to bridge that gap and understand that people at home, they might have a little couple of some issues at home, and they bring them at work, and we have to deal with that and understand that people
Right.
have good days and bad days, and we have to be ready for that.
Yeah, that's great. Those variables that are like behind the scenes, right? How's your day been going? What's your week like? What's happening with the family? That's definitely important things too. I'm glad you mentioned that.